Yo, good evening. How is everybody's day? I've been in absolute shit state today. Um, Big up to all the patrons who were present for the rundown on Saturday night. If you don't know what the rundown is, believe me, you're missing out. It's the best content on the internet, bar none. Um, Yesterday I was in all sorts of pain and trouble and hungover. I had about 2 pints of rum on Saturday night, and I was absolutely blasky booed. And then I was chatting to someone who made me feel like a little bitch because I was saying I'm not gonna go to the gym. I'm just gonna go home. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna have some cookies. I'm gonna curl up and feel sorry for myself. And basically called me out on my bullshit. And I said, all right, we're having it. I went and did 4 mile hike. Serious inclines. And today, front of my shins, tibialis for everyone who is asked. Tibialis is fucking wrecking. But I still got up at 6 o'clock this morning and I'm calling it yoga, but it's not fucking yoga. It's me stretching. But there's no thing on my Whoop for stretching, so we're calling it yoga. Kaylin says, you're still looking rough. Cheers. I had a 24% recovery again today, which is bad. I'm normally like quite good on my recoveries, but did I win the morning? I did win the morning notch. Morning was one. No, it's not shin splints. It's tibialis. It's the muscle. Basically, if you lift your toes up, the muscle that kind of flexes as you lift your toes up. The sort of exercises I'm doing is a lot of hiking and stuff, and I'm also doing a lot of like just toe raises with my heels down, like at an angle on a wall. So I'm proper overloading them, and I'm just feeling it. We noticed how close I am to 200k subs. Yes. Hopefully we'll nail it by the end of this week. I think we're close. So we will nail it. Yeah, it's one of those. John Shin in the comments says every time Steve says Shin, I get excited. Listen, I got love for you. Even if, do you know what? There's some people that do not get the fact that if you do a Google search or a Twitter search for me telling John to shut the fuck up, it's about 50, 60 episodes of it. It's our thing. It's what we do. And some people go, oh, what's going on here? So yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about Timber. We're going to talk a little bit about Nunes. Going to talk a little bit about Kobe Manu getting his new contract, and then we'll talk about whatever else gets brought up. Will says, got my GCSEs tomorrow. Any advice? Do you know what? I will give you some advice, right? Because I only found this out very, very recently that you can do A levels and GCSEs like now. And I know some people be like, how did you only know that now? Well, I did only know that now. And I thought I didn't realize that you could just like not go college, not do your A levels, and then do them at like 21, 22, something like that. I didn't realize that. So here's the thing, right? Look, smash it out the park if you can tomorrow. But if you can't, don't fucking worry about it. Go do them again. There you go. Yeah, there's been a load of shite on Twitter, obviously. And maybe it'll be time to talk about that at one point. But do you know what? I'm not here for that. Listen, all I'll say to you, any of you lot that have got a brain, you might see some people slinging shit. You might see some people say fuck all for 8 years. I think you're all intelligent enough to make your fucking own minds up on how this all goes down. And do you know what? At some point, it might be fucking time to drop the hammer and fucking do it all and show you what go on in. But I'm not into that, mate. I'm not into that. I know what I mean. I fucking left school nearly 20 years ago. Why are we still acting like fucking school kids? Get a fucking grip and get some fucking mates. Jesus Christ. But yeah, did manage to get a little bit of a sneaky sneak earlier on. Steve McLaren. Deal is all complete. Just waiting for it to be announced, I guess. It's my understanding, and for those of you who know what that phrase means, it's my understanding Mitchell van der Gaag will be doing the hands-on coaching. He's very good at that. I also found out that Ten Hag's extremely meticulous when it comes to his training. And when McLaren first got to Holland, and Ten Hag was his assistant. Obviously, that's kind of flip reverse now, isn't it? When McLaren got to Holland, to the minute, apparently, 12 weeks of pre-season was boxed off. And McLaren was like, oh, wow. And he was like, if you want to rip it up, just tell me and we'll change it. And he was like, nope, that's fucking mega. And he'd put in like 20-minute slots for him to do his coaching that he needed to do and stuff. But, you know, it's interesting. I've seen a lot of people going, oh, Steve McLaren's fucking old now. And do you know what? Yeah, maybe he is. But at the end of the day, this is a Ten Hag driven appointment. This isn't like where, and I don't even know if this is the case, but let's presume it was the case. Ryan Giggs was given to Van Gaal, and I know Van Gaal says he likes having people that was there from the club, but did he? We don't know that. And you know, were some other players given to managers again? I don't know. So one thing that's for sure is this is a Ten Hag want. You know, he personally asked Steve to come and join. So, yeah. Whole Boot says, how's the training going, my guy? We'll talk about footy and then we'll get into that at the end. Tom Hutton says, how do I feel about Timber as a DCM, defensive midfielder? I mean, I would rather... have I seen Kamara's gone to Atletico? No, I've not. That's shit, innit? No, I think Timber's a good right back and he's a good centre half. And well, let's talk about what's going on there with Timber. So, Timber, according to Pletty-Goal, Bayern Munich inquired about him, but it said that he could join Ten Hag at United. That's what they're saying. Talks with his management have taken place, and United is seriously interested. And then, so there's a Twitter account that I actually have alerts on for it. For when you're trying to find out like links to stuff, they're actually very good. At least for aggregating different links, and that's MUFC MPB. So they're worth a follow. I would say go and give them a follow, but they broke some news themselves earlier. And as far as I'm aware, this is the first time they've done that. So in terms of their reliability on that, I wouldn't know about that. So I'm not throwing any weight behind their reliability when it comes to breaking news. All I'll say is they're very, very good. Like sort of aggregating all of the news. So we will see whether there's any truth in that or not. But yeah, I would like to see it because I think he's a really good player. Daniel says, hi mate, hope you're all well. People saying I have no info. I know you have sources and wouldn't stay stuff for the sake of it. Anything myself on Timber? No, myself, I've got nothing on Timber apart from I would like it to happen because I think he's a really good footballer. Outside of that, yeah, I'm pretty chill on what it means and where it's going to go. But, you know, I think there's certainly some possibilities of what's going on here with Timber. So, like I said, here's what I'll report what they said in case I didn't read it out. I'm not sure if I did. So this is MUFC MPB. Like I said, you know, they're really good aggregators of what's going on elsewhere. They're worth a follow for that reason. But I've never seen them break news before, so I'm not sure the reliability of that. But here's what they're saying anyway, and we'll just keep an eye on it. Manchester United have reached a verbal agreement with Jurrien Timber. Ajax have only been informed of interest and yet to be approached by United, bid expected to follow. Now, some people will pick that apart because they'll say, well, technically you can't even talk to a player before like you've agreed your fee, but it happens. Right? It just happens. So like it or not, that shit happens. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see on that one. But, you know, I'm not sure. The other ones, what's that? Are the stories true on Danjuma? I haven't seen any stories on Danjuma. Give me the stories, because I do have a bit of an in on the Danjuma front. And I would say I know for a fact he would like to come to United. United have still got that draw with him for sure. But I wouldn't expect United don't need a left-sided player. Look how many players we've got on that front. But yeah, that's an interesting one. Let me know what that's been said anyway. Romano's been talking about Ten Hag's comments, and he said on Timber, he said on a potential deal for United. This is from that Mike Vergeway. I think all the top clubs have Timber in their sight. And then talking about Anthony, he said if Anthony would go, it would be a blow for Ajax because their current squad, there's no one to replace him. So it does sound like there could be something on Timber, but it also could be people just kind of lumping on and having a bit of a guess. But, I would like to see where it goes, in all honesty, with Timber, because I do like the idea of someone that quick in the back line. And get your questions in as well, because I'll read them as soon as I can. Alex says, it's a bit laggy on the video, but the audio's fine. Let me just double check the settings haven't changed on anything. Looks all right. Everything looks all right from here as far as I can see. We shall push on. Apparently Newcastle have registered an interest in a £20 million deal for Dean Henderson, according to the Mirror. And they're also pushing some stuff on Timber without any quotes. Ornstein, always worth listening to. Ornstein, for me, he's at the top of the tree. He says, sources close to the matter. I think Darwin Núñez can be signed for around 60 million. He's generating serious interest from clubs, including Manchester United. I think there's a good chance we're going to get Núñez. And if for those that saw my video about him, I have my doubts. I don't think he's flawless. He might be all right. He's got some good stuff about him, but I would have my doubts on him. Not every single player improves United. Not every single player is fit for what we want to go and do. So 60 million is a big chunk of change for someone that I think there's doubts on, at least anyway. Lil Yo-Yo says, my left take, we should go all out for Ante and send Ahmad to Ajax on loan while they look for a future right winger. Ahmad struggled to get in the Rangers team. Dylan Levitt's just won Fans Player of the Year at Dundee. Congratulations to him for that. But I don't know if Dylan Levitt can come back and take a first-team spot at United. And they're playing in the same league. You've got Ahmad, who can't even get a game. So if Dylan Levitt can't get a game, how far off's Ahmad? And we paid how much for him? J.E. Fruscione says, Steve, I am not at all familiar with Timber. If we were brought him in, would he be straight in the United 11 straight off? I love the work, keep up. Thank you very much. And yeah, I think he would, mate. I think he would straight into the starting 11 100%. Is it lagging that bad? Hang on. Let me just try something. This is where it's all your fault when it goes off, you lads. Let me just see what I can do. Lil Yo-Yo says, I think the Dutch league is less physical, could work to his advantage. I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with it being less physical and potentially that's a positive thing. But yeah, all right. Well, I plugged in something which I thought might help. Doesn't look like there's any internet on that front, but I'll leave it here and see what happens. Some people saying it's not lagged. John says, your best feelings, be a United fan, first league title or the treble? First league title for me I was a mess. I don't think I understood, right? If I had to take myself back to 1993, it's 29 years ago, children. I was but a boy. I would say my first game was September 1990. United were the current holders of the FA Cup, so there was posters that you could buy. I don't remember us winning the FA Cup, so it's not one of my memories. Someone just asked me about the Kante interest. Remind me if I don't talk about that, because I do want to talk about that. So I remember going to Old Trafford and seeing posters and photographs and stuff like that of the FA Cup. Then, my first season, 1990 to 91, and for those that can put two and two together, you might understand why a certain greatest achievement in all of football is so high on the list for me because that was the first season I watched as a match going fan. It wasn't really on telly so much, so I can't exactly say like I watched wall to wall games before I went to a match. But 1990-91 was my first season, so for me that is enshrined in greatness, and therefore it's the greatest achievement in the history of all football. Is it lagging? People are saying it's lagging. I'm sorry, everybody. Let me try that. I'm just going to do something real quick. This might slow it down just a little bit, but sometimes this helps. If I do a speed test, for some reason it kind of ramps it up. I'll see what my lag is and stuff on here if I'm doing a speed test. Ooh, ping's not bad. Download's pretty good. Speed's pretty good. Must be a setting on this somewhere. So yeah, my first season, 90 to 91. We obviously won the Cup Winners' Cup. The following season, we won the League Cup. The following season, we won the league. So I don't think I understood the gravity of becoming league champions. I was too young to appreciate what it meant. That 26-year wait was not a 26-year wait for me. That 26-year wait was a 26-year wait for my dad. It wasn't a 26-year wait for me. I remember the game against Blackburn. I remember it was the first time like flags had been allowed inside Old Trafford. Certainly in my era because of all the hooligan stuff. So early 90s, that flags with flagpoles, that is. People took banners in, but flags on flagpoles, that was just not seen because people would hit each other with the sticks. So once you get... I'm believing this has just gone absolutely tits up, has it? Is it dead? Do you think it's dead? Hello? Are we back? I don't know if we're back or not. I have no idea what the hell is going on, you know. This is proper shit, isn't it? If it's going to keep doing this. I'm just going to get rid of some stuff. I'm going to get rid of that, rid of that. Rid of that. Hopefully that sorts it out. Is it better? Can you hear me now? Jesus. Right, so that first league title for me was on the back of two other trophies that I'd seen in 91 and 92. So it wasn't this like drought of success that I'd been on. And then from there, obviously, we win the double, then we lose out in 95, and then we win in 96, 97, obviously the treble in 99. The treble, for me, was the best football I'd experienced in terms of, like, we just annihilated teams. With 2008, I thought that was the best team we've had. These are the machinations of when you're trying to rank it all. This is what we have to think about. So, 90 to 91 being my first season, that's special. Obviously, I didn't go to the final in Rotterdam. I was 7. I remember watching it on TV with my dad at home. And that'll always be special to me for that reason. That league title, though, was special because it was a great experience inside the stadium. Seeing the flags, being mesmerised by all of the colour in the stadium, that was rare, really, at the time. Treble, most fun I had watching United. What's interesting now, though, is going to be the next time we win. The celebrations are going to be off the fucking chart, aren't they? I might have a similar sort of celebration or feel how my dad felt after watching us go for so long. That's where it's going to get interesting, I think. That's where it's going to be fun to see, what's good and what's bad about it, and what changes about it, and all the rest of that sort of stuff. But yeah, I think every trophy. I mean, someone might have a real special thing with one of the League Cups. It might have been their first trip to Wembley, or it might have been the last time they went to a match with a relative, or something like that. Like, every trophy can mean something different to somebody else, can't it? And that's the thing, is being a football fan is personal to you, I think. Carl says, hopefully means that little ones can watch us dominate again and we can dream. Yeah, me and my son, born in summer of 2006, his first season, I took him when he was 14-month-old. His first season, we won the league. His first game was Wigan. We won 4-0. I've got photos of him being 2. Or he might have been 20-month-old. For Moscow. I was talking to Rio about this today, actually, because I got a photo of my son with Rio from probably about 8 years ago, I would say. 8 or 9 years ago, whenever Class of 92 bought Salford. They did a game at Salford, and I got a photograph with Rio and my son, and we was taking a piss out of how skinny Rio's neck was at the time. And in the midst of talking about some players that need to put on a little bit of timber. And I said, you need to get on whatever regime Rio's doing at the minute, because he's put some right timber on. I think Rio said he's put on 14 kilograms since he stopped playing. So, it's a mad one, isn't it? And it's mad to, like, one of the most mind-blowing video on 5 over the summer. I can see this one lagging in now. I don't know what's going on. What is happening? I don't know how to solve or fix or whatever with this. This is just annoying, isn't it? Having moments with... We did a video last summer where we spoke about winning the Champions League in 2008, and one of the things that's stuck in my mind about that game was literally Rio. Rio walked onto the pitch with a steel determination in his eyes, like a proper... And I literally remember, everyone knows Ben from Pizza Club and that, Thursday Club. I was with Ben and one of my other mates, Farke, and we was watching it at the Palace Hotel in town. And I said, you know what? We're fucking winning this. Look at him. Look at him. And it was the just determination on Rio's face. I was like, nah, we're winning this, man. This is it. And then to get to talk to Rio about that years later, it's pretty fucking cool, like, isn't it? Abhinav says, whereas Timber said he is staying at Ajax, I haven't seen that. Harry says, bit random, but why don't United buy a Scottish semi-pro team and use it like our B team? Could probably buy for under $1 million, work their way up the leagues. You could probably do that. I don't know what the level transfer would need to be. Probably a Scottish Division 1 team would do it, but are you ruining the integrity of Scottish football if you do that? There's going to be some more stuff coming to play, a bit like what City's done with, is it Girona that they bought, and New York City. There's going to be more stuff like that coming into play, I think. Prabesh says, Steve, please start a trend of pyro and ultra sort of vibe at Old Trafford, at least if not away. Mate, it's illegal. As much as it looks amazing, and this is the annoying part of it, like, clubs will clamour to use pyro and flares and smoke and stuff in there, like promotional materials and on video and stuff like that. And even the league will. The league uses smoke and stuff like that to promote stuff. But if you take it into the ground, you get a ban from going to the game. That's not right, is it? Yes, it's a fire hazard. Yes, I guess people have been hurt by it in the past, but why not just make provisions for it? You see the amount of pyro that goes off in Eastern Europe. It isn't like there's scores of people getting burns every game, is there? It does look sensational, and I wish it would be something that's more prevalent. At games, where I'm not sure if it's, I don't know the legalities of it, so we'll just pretend we don't know. Will says GCSEs in 13 hours. Any advice? Good luck. Definitely stay up all night watching. You should be doing. I'm just going to check the settings on here. I can't change anything while it's live. Unfortunately, it's stuck with what it is. Apologies. How shit's this? Alex says, watch Vibe early and honestly believe we buy free players and Ten Hag will tell the youth that have top experience it's now or never. Agreed. Street Solo says, because UK's football is sanitised, bleached of all character, and we can't have those things. I'd agree on that. I definitely agree on that. K1N40 says, a little bit off topic. All right. Speaking of pyro in Eastern Europe, I'm from Bulgaria. I remember your vlog going to a Siska game, I think. Did I like the trip in the game? Yeah, I was there covering MMA for IMAF. Do a little bit of MMA now and then. And I had a day off. And I saw that, we were in Sofia. And I saw that Siska were playing. And I thought, let's get in the mixer and I'm going to see what it's all about. I can't change any settings on here at the moment. I'm sorry, this is really frustrating. And I went, and I think the ticket was £2, and I was in the stands, which was like the day bit. The pyro in there was insane. Sector G, I think, is the stand behind the goal where it was going off, and it was an absolute show, and I enjoyed it. Yeah, absolutely enjoyed it. Any news on RVP? No, I think it's probably done. I missed a super chat. Did we absolutely lag out? Oh, there we go. Adichie says, how serious is the news of United sale? I don't think there is any news of United sale, to be honest, mate. Burnside is back, says Dylan Levitt Ultra. Would love to have him back for DUFC, but honestly, he improves you. Play him at 6, you'll have possession for days, wizard. I think he could get into a City team. I think United need to hold a lot more possession before he's... I'll give him a chance because I think he's a genuinely top player. No player that I know of came on and made 100 out of 104 passes on their debut away on a car park in Ukraine. And he did that. And he was absolutely shit hot doing it in a game that we lost. So, yeah, I would be here to argue for Dylan. I mean, fucking hell, I love Dylan. Me and Dave and Farky, actually, that was mentioned before, we went and drove all the way over to Bangor to go and watch Wales under-19s or whatever it was versus San Marino. I mean, fucking love the game. And then we got there and Dylan was on a fucking bench and we're like, oh. Luckily they brought him on though. But I think that might have been the last time he played a youth game for Wales because he went straight into the full team after that and just played first team for him. Mega. Any news of the training ground stuff? Right, well, I've been trying to find out. And I've had denials that it happened. I have had denials that it happened, but sometimes I got to question the source of those denials. Would they want there to be a fight? And I haven't said anything on the subject publicly because I'm not 100% sure what I'm being told is the truth. So, yeah, I asked. I'm not 100% sure I believe what I was told. I've seen a couple of things. I've seen one saying it was Tellez and Hannibal. I've seen one saying it was Lingard and Maguire. I've seen a couple of different theories, but I asked and was told it didn't happen. So, who knows? Dave in the comments, he says, yeah, what a day that was. Top picture we got too. Yeah, Dylan came and had a chat with us and took a photo after that game as well. Thank fuck we drew. I mean, there was another one that we did over to Rill to watch him and Nishan Burkhardt play. Wales against Switzerland. That was good. Oh, Kante. Yeah, so Kante, no, I don't have any news on Kante. I saw the links. I think there could be something in the links, and I kind of like those links. We need a bit of experience. Needs a bit of character. You know that he can play in this league. You know he's not just done it at one club. He's done it at multiple clubs in the league. So I think if it's a cheap enough transfer, I would be all about it. Raymondo Red says, first trophy for me was the old second division title. Great season with great football under the dock and a real tonic after relegation. There's a big love from that sort of generation of United fans for the Docks football. My uncle Steve is 2 years younger than my dad, and I think he missed the European Cup win. I think he was too young for the European Cup win. So his United team is the Docks United team. And where my dad will talk about maybe the European Cup, my uncle will talk about basically being a fucking absolute nightmare on the road with United, just going everywhere and being off his fucking nut with it. Who wins in a fight between Ten Hag and Pep? Don't know. Any news on Mason? No. Notch says, I was uber young, but I saw a season of Dock football. I think Dock football is the quintessential United football. It's playing with wingers and just fucking having it, isn't it? That's my take on it, at least, anyway. Is Kante vocal enough to be in that role? It's not to say he's the captain, but you can be a leader through your actions. And from what I'm looking at him, it looks like he's a leader through his actions. Do I think military-esque discipline is what's needed at United? I'm not sure. When I speak to some footballers and some ex-footballers and you talk about that sort of stuff, everyone just kind of goes, "Rrr." I think what you've got to have is you've got to have a manager that's going to have enough power that they know they're going to outlast all these players. What you've got at Liverpool, what you've got at City at the moment is that manager has got ultimate power because they've been there a significant amount of time. They're not at clubs that are currently in a cycle of just rolling through managers. They know that if they want to work here, they're going to have to work here. They've both started to more or less get pretty good signings, more hits than misses in terms of their signings. And they've both got now relatively deep squads. That's a relatively new thing for Klopp. I thought he lacked a bit of depth a couple of years ago, but I think they've built up a little bit of depth now. And because of that, and because look how the Klopp's rotation this season's actually been very, very, very good. And there's a reason that they're on for several trophies towards the end of the season is because he's managed to keep the squad going and keep them hungry. And it helps that you're winning to do that. But he's also doing it. He's also what's the word I'm looking for? He's got the authority to be able to just drop people that aren't performing, drop people that aren't maintaining the standards. Unfortunately, there's so much player power in the game that I think it's very, very difficult for managers. Look at Conte. Elite disciplinarian, but it runs out for him because they kind of know he's going to get tired or the board's going to get tired of him and people know that they're going to outlast him, and that's a problem. Am I hearing anything on the underground about Frankie? Nah, I wish I was. In terms of players at the moment, I'm not hearing anything about anyone. Myself, obviously, I saw everything that came out last week, like everyone else did about Frankie, but I'm hearing nothing about players at the moment, and that's probably a good thing. It means that whatever leaks they were in and around Manchester are being quiet for a minute. It's frustrating, but, it is what it is, isn't it? Any news on Paul Mitchell? I think we've inquired. And I don't know if it goes any further than that at the moment. Who do I think will be the best player for us? What, next season? Going to be hard to tell. Or hard to guess, I would think. Would I take Ward-Prowse and Neves as a midfield partnership? I think that's a better midfield partnership than the one we've currently got. He says, being impartial, if I was Declan Rice and had the choice of 7 years at West Ham or a 2-year deal at United, which would I sign? Oh, don't know, you know. Declan's got a massive decision to make. Absolutely massive decision to make. Yeah. Anyway, this is only going to be a short one tonight. But that's what I'm going to wrap it up there. By the looks of things, some people believe things are moving relatively quickly on the Timber front. We will keep an eye on that. If there's anything more to it, then we will do it. I did do a scout report on him. If you want to know a little bit more about him, just go and search Timber on my channel and you'll find it. And that's it. I think we've got... I'm not even sure actually what's coming out tomorrow, but there's all sorts coming out. So keep it locked. I think we've got XG files tomorrow with Ronnie. So come and check that out. Make sure to subscribe, obviously. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Laters.